A few days ago, I tweeted, "It's never good to oversimplify a complicated issue. You never end up solving the real problem, and the difficulties don't just disappear." It's the message I'm holding in mind as I begin to think through the recent decisions made by the states of Guernsey in relation to the education of the island's children. The views I express here are those I've worked out for myself. What I'm hoping is that by the end of this campaign, they will have been reshaped and refined by listening to yours. The goal, at least, is clear to all of us. The role of any system of education is to take those with life and language and to help them to think and to choose, to think better and to choose more wisely. Education's not a straightforward matter of imparting knowledge and know-how, but an involved process of assisting people, whatever their background identity or initial ability, to shape their character in ways that are appropriate, meaningful, and fulfilling. When I'm faced with a simple health issue, a few sniffles, for example, I can pretty much look after myself. When things get worse, I consult an expert. I go to the doctor. When it comes to island education, we need to consult the experts. I don't mean that we need to bring in consultants, but that we need to give priority to those on the front line. That is, to the voices of our teachers. Immediately next come the voices of parents and pupils. They have first-hand experience of what's working and what's not. On the 15th of March, the states agreed that the current selective admission of students to state secondary schools and the grant-aided colleges, based predominantly on the 11+ examination, shall be replaced with effect from September 2019 for new Year 7 students by non-selective admission to state secondary schools based predominantly on a feeder system from primary schools, and that the state secondary schools shall set students by ability as appropriate. The decision to abandon the 11+ examination was one recommended by our primary school head teachers. The views of parents and pupils are more diverse. What has emerged is that there's a lot of work to be done between now and September 2019 if we're to ensure that teachers, parents, and pupils agree that the successor strategy is everything it should be. If the new system is to make certain that all children have access to the island education that's best suited for them, the relationship between the grant-aided colleges and the state's secondary schools will need to be negotiated carefully. There are sensitive issues regarding both entrance criteria for the colleges and the means testing of grants to be resolved, as well as setting and streaming within the state's secondary schools. The states agreed that 11 to 16 education in the state sector shall be provided in 3 schools, ideally of a broadly comparable size, but in any event, of a size capable of securing equality of opportunity for all students. Considering the data closely, I've concluded, with some hesitation, that it was a sound, though exceptionally painful decision. On the one hand, we need to have schools that are large enough to provide equal opportunity, to maintain fair and effective setting and streaming. There are not enough pupils on the island for this to hold in 4 high schools. On the other hand, there are significant savings to be made by running just 2 large state secondary schools. I think parents, however, are right to insist on schools that are small enough to maintain the sort of community spirit that has led, for example, to the Save Our Schools campaign. The 3-school solution is a compromise. It may also be the best possible solution for the island. Schools small enough to have a strong community spirit, but large enough to provide equal opportunities for all abilities. I have to admit here that my view is tentative. No final decision can be made before the Education Department puts some concrete proposals on the table. I'm conscious that, in the end, everything I've said remains something of an oversimplification. You have the details I need to hear if I'm to improve my understanding of this complex issue, why not get in touch and share them with me? My ears, your voice.